Okay, I'm going to leave the broken end mill in there. We're going to dry run it through, which I was going to do without the material in there, which I would have now. So here we go. Accidentally hit the stop. That's still plenty fast. That's considerably slower. Gun shy now. Yeah, that plunge is a little fast. Ooh, there. Yeah, see, that's the speed that I missed a few. I missed a few lines. So let's stop there. All right. Yeah, I got that set up totally backwards, and plus I have the part is supposed to be turned. This is the corner. How did I do that? Yeah, so now I'm gonna have to clean that off of there. I'll have to go over and mill that down and get rid of that. Yeah, I'll have to get rid of this here. That's right in the spot. Because it should have been sitting like that. This is the 0 right here. And I put the 0 up over here somewhere, and I turned it like that. Remember how yesterday started out? Not well. So I'm just gonna turn it off right there, and I'm gonna go over to the mill. Still got the fly cutter in there, and I'm just gonna fly cut the top of this and get rid of that mark, because this is the bigger part, and then it comes up. Well, you can see it up here. Let's see if I can move this out of the way. See, and I had it sitting like that. So I had this turned like that. Naturally, it's not going to be right. Plus, I got feed rate problems, so I'll sit down and sort that out too. I'll be back. Okay, round 2. I went through the program, adjusted feed rates, cut the top off, reset it, reset everything. So I kicked the RPM up a little. I went the other way now with the feed rate. That's okay though. We got time. Lower you down.
back up here. Through there. And come over and out and punch in at an 83 angle. And take in 50 top. Scared me. I'm not breaking another 50 around this. It's going to go down about 280, 290. Go down far enough where I can slice it off and then finish it. So there's 5 pin guide. I mean, brass guide on go off your tap hole here for the rod, and then drill tap hole for the bearing. Bearing. 250 OD bearing. This is running the bolt for bearing. Okay, only 250 bearings. I got one left, so I might want to order maybe 4 or 5 more. Take that one again. I use those machine engines a lot, and also sometimes they actually Sherwin. I use those for drilling and it's 2 cut down friction, so I definitely want to hold something in my hand. I think I just stick something about building or another style Sherwin, so I got a couple steam engines that I identified that I want to build, and I got one Sherwin engine that I want to build yet. And then from there, I may go to a B4 engine. You can also do that and monitor. It's reminds me of the cathode engine. It's a straight inline 4 cylinder. I also like to go inline 6. I haven't done that yet. There's so many engines to build, and I just don't have enough time to get them all built. Or enough space for it. Called the Warrior. A steam engine called the Warrior too. I tried that deal. I got drawings for it. I ordered those whole power, whatever. They're out of business now. I don't think they're any longer in business. That's an engine that I want to build. That one I end up making some forkings, and I want to do that. I want to try forking some parts, and that would be one of the first ones that I would try for the steam test and cylinder. I'd like to forge that part as well. That's something that I've been wanting to try for a long time, is to make some forgings of my own. Do lots of wood patterns, and this is the finish here. Can we just flip it over and do it on the other side, and we got both.
There we go. It seemed to go better than the first time. Oh well. Come on. Trying to get the chips out of there. I can turn that off. I have it controlled by the console also, but it's the coolant is so low I was afraid that it would stop in the middle of everything. Let me go over here and give it a little shot of air. Now, if it wouldn't be for this threaded hole that was in that part to start with, I could just do it on the same side. Darn it. But I can just flip it over and do it right on this side also. It's just that if I could have done it on one side, I could have just set it up on the bandsaw and burp, and then had them both done. Oh well. Before I take it and part them off though too, I'm going to drill the holes in here and over here and have that completed before I... So it looks like I could move my X over that way a little bit. It didn't quite clean up over here on this side. I don't know by how much. Let me measure that. It's supposed to be 125. We're at 122, so I want to move my 0 that away at least 3 thou. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to turn the relative on, and I'm gonna move it by 10 thousandths. I'm gonna move 10 thou that way. So 10 0. Okay, let's hit that top of the 5. Let's load her up and get her done. Up and get her done. So it was like that. I'm just going to flip it like that. Make sure there's no chips underneath. And I'm going to let the council do it this time. The coolant. And hopefully it'll start before it gets starting. Oh yeah. Come on now. Don't stop spitting now.
I got camera filters on they should be today. Not here yet. With our rural carrier, you never know what time he shows up. Then he wants to get out of there early, and he's got the afternoon on. Sometimes he'll be able to deliver by noon, and sometimes 9 o'clock at night. Never the same. Well, but rural carriers apparently they have their own hours whatever they want. So granted, hard to do that. She likes it. I know I probably like it the summertime, but winter time kind of sucks. Pull down that road that don't get plowed or it'll be fun. I'm far enough that we'll go to the end. I will get down. Walking through in that orange bogey bearing, I'm finding that 256 is almost perfect. Not as far as the diameter of the screw itself, but they had it. The camper or the casual will center it anyway. Yeah, comes down on almost perfect. Perfectly what I want anyway. Yeah, maybe they turn the head down now. I'd rather use 256. There's gonna the head like a screw will center the rate of the bearing anyway, so that's all required. I have cam programs on also. I don't have material on it. I haven't found that one, then I won't have to. Looking for material. I like found it. So we'll just continue on with this. Get this done first. Alright, let's move on over to the mill. And I'm going to shut this down. And we'll go over to the mill. Funnel it. And we'll need that. We need drill. We need drill holes. Ah. Look, there's that one piece. Alright. Alright. So I've got collet in there. I'm going to get the edge finder. And we'll put that in there. And we'll pick up this back edge. And I want to make sure I get over... Oh, you know what? I shifted it. So I'm going to have to re-pick this up anyway. Well, I'll just pick up for one and then pick up for the other one. So we'll move in here, get over here. Actually, I won't have to pick it up this way, that on X, because that'll be the same. Because I won't change that. I just changed it on in one direction. Right there. 0 my Y. Move it in 100. 0 again. Now I'm going to come over here and pick up this edge. And that'll be over 125. Pick this up.
there, zero my X, and then go over 225. And I'm just going to zero that there. So, and up from that top is I don't see a dimension there. You know what? I might have to. I should almost set up and set the motor up on the high stand with that guide already mounted to the motor and check what the distance is from that guide to the top there, so that it's in line with the push rod. I think I might do that because there really isn't a dimension this way, and it should actually match where the push rod is going to sit. So I think what I'm going to do is go over the surface plate off to clear a spot. But that's the best way. Whoop, he's running into stuff. That's the best way to do it, and that is to. I wonder if I can get the flywheels off. I don't have the flywheels tightened on. Take that one off so that it ain't flopping around. There we go. The spool falls out. Might have to do. I think I'm gonna do this to both of them. You know, one and the other, and then take this and loosen that up and take that off. Take the gear. I might have to get a pliers to get in there. Oh, just so happens it's laying here. Let's pull the lever off of it. The little cam lever. Just all temporarily put together right now anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Grab that bolt. Unscrew this. Okay. Now, that is tightened down, and what we want to do is we want to put this valve guide, or the rocker guide, we want to install that. So we want to make sure we put that on. I just want to get the exact reading. And I don't have any screws laying here. Well, actually, I can take a reading from here up to the slide where that fits in there. Get this out of the way. Set that over there. And we'll have to get. I'll get my knee out here. Alright, and we'll slide that over here. And what we're going to do, we're going to. The rocker guide, her mount fell off, and we'll get a parallel and set that up like that. Okay. I'll get there. Couple of clamps. I'm going to show you if you're not used to doing surface plate work. I'll show you what I'm talking about here in a second. Just clearing off a spot. All right. So the first thing we want to do is we want to clamp that up there. We'll put it parallel under here. Set that down under parallel. And then we'll come in and we'll clamp that. There we go. Now, what we want to do, I should take the camera off this big tripod and get you on a little tripod. All right, what we want to do is we want to get the height of that little slider in there, the raised portion in this guide, compared to this surface. So we know the height that is at. And then, once we do that, we want to go take the push rod guide there, and we want to measure from this surface up to that hole. That'll give us the distance that we need to hold that push rod hole at, so that it'll actually slide through that, so it's all lined up. Because if the height is wrong, then naturally it's going to bind up. We don't want anything binding up on it. So that is what I'm about to try to do here. So I'm going to try to figure that out. Let's see if I can scooch around the corner. All right, so take my indicator here. And I don't like this long needle in it, though. But it'll work. It'll work fine. A little longer needle than what I want, but it'll work. All right, so now you're really out of focus here. We come down on this little ledge in here. There's a ledge on both sides of this. And which it's going to ride on. Get over on it. Right there. And get a 0 reading. 0 there. And 0 there. And we'll get over to my Cadillac gauge and get the height of that. And what do we got here? We have 4 inches to 89.5. And piece of paper here to write on. And then we got a pencil that doesn't write. All right, 3 inches. Did I say 4 before? 3 inches, 289.5. 89.5. That's the height from the surface plate up to the ledge in here that is going to ride on. It's going to ride on that ledge in there. So now we want to know what the distance, what the height of this is, the side of the motor is at. So we'll take and get that next. So we'll bring that down on there and get a 0 reading. Make sure it's straight across. Look at that. Straight as an arrow. Well, some arrows aren't straight. All right. And the height of this from the surface plate is 258.5. 3 inches, 258.5. 3 inches, 258.5. So I don't know if you can see this light colored lead. It's blue. So we got 0, 1, 31 thousandths. So it's 31 thou from there up. So now we want to know where the height of this hole is at. And I'll just leave it sit right there. And I'll come in and get the height of that hole. Oop. And then, come on. My height, there we go. Get in, oh, lock that down. We want to pick up the lowest spot of the hole with the indicator in there. So we just kind of move it back and forth until we get, and that's the 0. And I want to make sure that hole is straight through and not at an angle. And I'm thinking it is at an angle. That's not good. Zero right there. See, that's the trouble with this long needled. You have a hard time getting it back in because the ball is so small. No, it's straight. Just that ball is so small, I can't get back in the hole. All right, we'll measure the height of that. And that is 3 inches 400 on the nuts. 3 inches 400. And now we'll get the top reading of that. Well, we know what it is. It's 125. That hole diameter is 125, so we add 62.5 to this. So that's 3 inches 462.5. And the height of this was 3 inches 258.5. Change battery. Okay, so I got the reading from the bottom of the hole. So now we just added 62.5 because we know that that's a 125 hole, which gave us 4 inches 462.5. So that's from there up. We know that slide in here is 31 thousandths higher than this surface. So we got the center line of that, which was 4 inches 462.5. We add that 31 thousandths to it, which is 4 inches, 493.5. All right. So now we want to take and okay, so that gives us the distance from there to the center line, with it sitting in there. I'm thinking we don't need that. We need the distance. Oops. We need the distance from there, so we would have subtracted, not added to that. So it would be 4 inches, 431.5. And then we subtract that, or 4 inches, 431.5. See, this is how I'm working it out, trying to work it out. And we know the height from there up to there. Let's see. Is it 4 inches or was it 3 inches? That's 3 inches, not 4 inches. I was thinking, wow, an inch off on everything. All right, that makes more sense. All right, so now we take the height from here up to here and subtract it, which was 3 inches, 289.5. 289.5. 0. 2, 4, 142. Yep. So it's 142 thousandths from the end of that, where we want to drill the hole. That's for this one. The other one, it should be the same, depending on if I mill that pocket in there where that guide sits, or I mean where the slide sits, really close. 142 thousandths. Oh, we're back over at the mill after that long. Oop. So we are sitting at we're sitting at 152 or 57. We want to go 142. And that'll give us, see, this is going to slide on there, on that, the distance up to that hole. 632. Oh, big bird business. That drill. And center drill. And how about a drill chuck? A lot easier drilling that hole with a drill chuck in there. All right. Here it goes. I just want to check something. Yeah, that looks right. Right. I think it's going to hit that wall down below. Alright, 632 tap. And I need to get a little tap handle, my brutal tap handle. My thumb tap handle. Then actually it's at the bottom of the and an Allen wrench to tighten that up. Put that on. Wrong Allen wrench. Well, come on now. We'll pick the same size Allen wrench both times. There we go. And I want to get some Molly D. Smear on there. Put it in the drill chuck lightly. Down. Touch. Tap that hole. Feels awful tight, I don't know. I'm trying to be a little careful with it. It's got to be just about through now. Yeah, to make a square nut for this also. I don't want to put a regular nut on it. I want to put a square nut on it to lock the push rod. Should have made those pads just a little taller. But then I don't know if it would have lined up with the rocker arm pocket. Okie doke. That out. Yeah, it hit the back. It hit this wall pretty good. So,
Well, I'm gonna go and check the other one now, the other motor, the same exercise that we just went through, and see where that one's at, and then come and drill and tap it and do the same thing. So I'll stop here.